Good morning, everyone. My name is Melanie Sessa, and I am here with an amazing woman, Kathleen Troy. Kathleen has graciously agreed to be part of this series called Age of Abundance. I started this to just help women realize that over 40, over 50, even over 60, there's still an opportunity for you to embrace your dream, create a new mission, a passion for your life, and prosper. So if met already, again, my name is Melanie Sessa. I am a network marketing professional. I embrace network marketing to its fullest at the age of 50 and have created an amazing business. And I want to share with you other ways that you can do that and how other women have done that. And so I'm going to introduce my friend, Kathleen Troy. We met through a networking group and she just struck a chord with my heart. As soon as I met her, ran up to her. I remember that, Kathleen, and started talking to you right away because she's just such a charismatic woman and so incredibly knowledgeable and helpful. And she is the owner of Second Spring Life Coaching. So, Kathleen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll never forget that day when I met you. It was this burst of light coming at me, and it made me want to sign up for that networking group. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So, Kathleen, the premise of our show is to share with women a transition, a journey, and then a transition to something else that they embrace their passion or whatever. So I want to ask you, Kathleen, I shared with people that you're a life coach, but where were you before and how did you come about becoming a life coach?
Well, what I did before and still a bit in tandem was I've been a hair colorist for over 30 years. And I started out in little Michigan. I won't take you all the way back to birth, but I started in Michigan, a small town, and I went, I know it's got to be better than this. So I followed my sister to New York City and really spent some wonderful years in New York City and in Westchester, attracting amazing women to me. And so I still do that on the side because I haven't stopped loving it. It just became not enough.
So tell us a little bit more about that, not enough.
Well, I realized as my kids grew up that I wanted to challenge myself further. So one of my missions in life was always to never be bored. Like, to me, if you're bored, if someone says I'm bored, then I hear I'm boring. Yeah. And I was a stand to never be that. Like, there's so much to learn and so much to explore. But I realized also I wanted security. So as the kids grew up, my need for security kind of superseded my sense of adventure. Okay. But then once they grew up, I realized the next day I have to challenge myself again. I thought I would own a salon because that would be the next smart step.
Right.
But I never dreamed of that. Like, whenever I'd go to sign a lease, I'd hyperventilate, or my husband would panic and we'd look at the terms and go, oh my gosh, look what happens. And the thought of a brick and mortar felt like a ball and chain.
Right.
But I still thought I should probably explore this. So I went to a coaching, well, I didn't know it was coaching at the time. It was really a soup to nuts salon ownership workshop in the city. And one of the things that one of the facilitators said was, if you love the connection, the one-on-one behind the chair connection with people, don't open a salon.
Wait a minute.
You could lose that.
You went to a conference to determine whether or not you should open a salon.
Mm-hmm.
At that place, at that conference, you were told, if you are a one-on-one person, don't open a salon.
At the size that we were looking at, because what they said is, yes, thank you. Unless you have somebody managing the business, to be a successful salon owner, you need to give up some control and build your staff. Wow. And in that, there's a decision to be made for success, which I actually agree. I could see that. I've seen that play out. And it became a very exacting moment of, I can't bear to not have that one-on-one, because the transformation, what I really got, my husband teases me and says, do you even do a good job on their hair? Because he sees how I connect with people when he meets them on the street. And he's like, he thinks I do a nice job, but he said, they just love you. And I'm like, but I just love them. Yeah. And watching people come back from cancer or other health issues, or their husbands passed, or their they lost their job or their company folded, and seeing people transform from those moments is the nectar for me, and being part of it and having people over the years say, you're the only one who believed in my dream, or you're the only one I could talk to.
This happened in the chair.
This happened in the chair. So in that workshop of soup to nuts salon ownership, one of the facilitators saw me not breathing very well and turning red, and she took me out and said, well, she did a coaching tool with me, which I didn't understand at the time. It was a coaching tool, an exercise to sort out what was going on with me. And she said, I'm not really ever supposed to assert this, but have you thought about life coaching? And here I was in a program to open a salon. She's like, I need something else in you. And I hadn't known that was available.
Wow.
Later, I signed up for my program. It was as if a weight of bricks came off my shoulders. And
amazing. So a month after, so you had been looking to open a salon for so long. And a month after you got that word of knowledge from someone, you went ahead and dove into life coaching. That's amazing.
Look at the difference. And that's the difference I wanted to make for people. She is a coach. She was trained as a coach. She also facilitates. Look at the difference you can make in people's lives by having impactful, intentional conversations. Like that really, like, I just want to pay that forward. That is what I got.
I love that. So how did that feel? Because you shared that you were hyperventilating and panicking whenever you thought about opening a salon. But how did it feel when you were looking to go to the life coach direction to become a life coach? How did it feel?
Felt really uncomfortable because, let's be honest, we're human. So everything was resistance. Oh no, I'm going to be in with people who know more than I do. They're all going to be psychiatrists and social workers and people with more knowledge. I don't have enough background. I don't have enough education, or I'll have to become familiar with technology. And I'm such a doofus with that. What will I do? So I had all kinds of reasons to not show up. And we all do. And then I went, you know what? It will not be boring. When I go through my list, this will be interesting. And I was very challenged in this program.
Did it feel more aligned with who you are?
Yeah. And I love the people I met, my co-students, and they'd have volunteers come in for us to coach as practice. And I was fascinated. And here's another little, I'm going to be really honest here. I kind of thought I was an expert. I had done a lot of landmark in different forums, Tony Robbins. I'd read a lot of self-help books. I'm going to admit here that I did think I knew. And so finding out that I didn't, there were going to be new layers of vulnerability that I'm going to have to reach and get called out about. You have to get to a not knowing and curiosity to be a coach. And the minute you think you're an expert, you must retire. And
wow, that transcends every profession, I think.
I think so too.
Because if you're closed to learning more and being educated and personal development, whatever that looks like, then you can advance. You can't.
Yeah, and you have an agenda, and you can't have, my agenda as a coach is whatever is your agenda. Mm-hmm. You know, like think about a relationship coach. If a relationship coach decided everybody should be married and have children, that's not what everybody wants.
Right.
A relationship coach is, what's your relationship to yourself? Like, how much do you love yourself?
And I have to share with the audience that I went through one of your, what was it, a workshop with several other women, and you do an exercise like that. And people were astounded about where they put themselves on priority and how that showed up in their life. And it's not a selfish way. I'm a huge believer in loving yourself first, because it's the most selfless thing you can do if you truly care about the people around you, right? To empower and nourish and focus on your mental and physical health and emotional health first. And so when you did that workshop, so many women in that room were like, whoa, because we never think about that. You know, where are we on the priority list?
I know. And once I heard that you can only love as deeply as you love yourself, I was really resistant to that. Because, well, no, I love everyone else more than I love myself. But there is a limit. And so those limits of how well you care for yourself matter. Like, how are you sustaining yourself for your children? Yeah, thank you. I love that you gave me that opportunity. You know that I want to stop, drop, and roll with that conversation everywhere.
I know. We could go on for hours about that. So since you've embraced life coaching as your passion and your profession, tell us a little bit about the results you've seen.
Say it again.
The results. What have been?
I have a good one. Well, so I call this, we're recording this during the shutdown, which I refer to as the extraordinary pause.
I love that.
Right? It is extraordinary. Yeah. And it's a different experience for every person. And what I've noticed is a couple of people I've coached during this were able to get the jobs that we had set out for them to get pre-COVID. They got hired, which sounds like, how would that happen during this? There's such unemployment, but people set intentions. Oh, what do I have? I have a young woman who was up in Juneau, Alaska, and reached out to me and said, I want to be in New York City. I want to be writing plays. I don't belong up here in Juneau, Alaska. And here she is now, right in the middle of New York City.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you've been able to empower and help people to direct their path. What have been some personal results for you?
Personal results are, well, for one thing, it's a partnership. So when my clients reach amazing accomplishments, I feel I have to too, because they help me to lose my excuses. Because working with them, I go, okay, what's holding me back? So one of the things that happened to me is I loved my life up through March. I loved everything I was up to. And I was licking my wounds a little bit of, I don't know what to do now. Everything fell apart. I don't know what to do to pivot. And then I slowly remembered, wait, I already love coaching people in Alaska on Zoom. I already have these skills. I was up to workshops. What are the workshops we could create now? Who can I collaborate with? So all the people I was collaborating with before, I am now collaborating with. And we're reaching people in a way that we probably wouldn't have.
You're so right. The internet is up exponentially.
Yeah.
And people searching is up like 1,600% on certain searches. So people are looking for help and opportunities and all that. And you are part of that journey for people. You know, some people who have been lost their jobs are like, you know what, I don't want to go back to that industry because it is not stable. And so someone like you has helped so many people find that new journey, intention, vision, whatever that is. Yeah. And I love those. That's awesome. So
thank you.
You are just such a light to everyone who knows you. And I want to ask you one final question. So in your life coaching business, in your journey, what has been the best part so far of all of this?
Well, gosh, you can't, that's like choosing a favorite child.
The day.
Well, one of the things that I never thought could happen for me, that would be a dream beyond belief, was when I was invited to do a workshop for the women at the UN last May. Because I so honor the women at the UN who are making a difference in this world. And they are so busy because they're living in this time zone, but Italy might be the country they serve. So they have to manage life on a different time schedule with a 3-year-old who has to be on the New York time. And like, they're up to such good, and they're so exhausted. And to think that I could go in and do something kind. And we did talk about self-care and priorities. It was just, I was awestruck. I was awestruck to be in the presence of these women.
That is phenomenal. You are making a global difference.
Thank you.
Oh, you are amazing. I'm so grateful that you agreed to be on this. I'm sure that people have already gotten a lot of value, and the people that are going to watch this are going to get a lot of value from you. Now, you are doing your life coaching via Zoom now. So why don't you share if you have anything going on to offer?
Yes, actually, well, for one thing, companies are noticing that we can coach their staff by Zoom, by video. So I love co-creating any kind of workshop that supports people in getting in touch with their staff, getting more of a heart-based background. Also discovery sessions. I'm always interested in offering discovery sessions complimentary. Melanie, you're a good example. You have so many friends who are life coaches, and you've allowed us to do discovery sessions with you so that you understand what we're about.
Exactly.
And you may or may not need one someday, but you have people around you who might. So now you know how to refer me to maybe a friend.
Absolutely. And a discovery session helped a lot with that.
Yeah.
I'm of the mindset that I think we all can use a coach in every area of our life because none of us are experts in this, right?
I don't know what I would do without my coach.
Right. If we have someone to walk alongside us that is intentional about certain aspects, whether it's what I do with mental and physical wellness, whether you do with life coaching, whatever, training for a sport, you have a coach, whatever that is, having someone to help you, push a little farther, grab that goal, and help you create strategy to do that, I think is powerful.
Well, my coach called me out on, I've always said I want to write. And so she's invited me to write a chapter in her book. So she called me out and partnered with me. And so that's an example of, stop. What are you saying that you actually want and what are you actually doing about it? Or by telling people, let's set up a joyous schedule. She said to me, well, what's your joyous schedule? Let's look at that. So we know we see it for others, but we need someone to see it for ourselves.
I 100% agree. I could tell stories about that. So do you have any special packages or promotions that you're doing during this time?
Well, I do have. There are people who just feel like they don't want to commit to a long-term coaching relationship. So I do a turbocharged 1 month. We decide together what is your ask, what is your coaching request. Let's look at whether that can be done in a month. And sometimes that's just the thing that launches the rocket.
Yeah.
Then the consequence could be if it didn't keep going, they may come back and ask for a more classic coaching, or they might not. But that's one thing I see is a great opportunity.
Your discovery sessions are complimentary, and people I know that I got such a great insight to how life coaching can help me, and you gave me such great nuggets that I still have in my heart. That if people sign up for a turbo 1 month or anything on it, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So how do they get in contact?
I have a website that I'm proud of now. That's one thing I sorted out. I'd say I have a website, but don't look, which is really not very powerful. So now I invite everyone to go look at my website, secondspreecoaching.com. And I've received a lot of help from a friend of ours, Maggie Carey, Master at Media. She has just been, because she knows I'm just a wonky tech wonk. So she just holds my hand and gets me through.
That's an example of all coaches in different areas of our life.
That's right. I hired her as a coach.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Great. So I will put in the comments her Kathleen's website so you can reach out to her. And thank you again, Kathleen, for joining me this morning. And I appreciate you.
Melanie, thank you so much. And I just want to say one more thing. I love that you invited me to do this. I know we've talked about doing something like this and that you've been such a stand for me and for everyone and for so many women, and the stand you have around everyone's health and wellness. I'm so grateful to partner with you. I'm so grateful that you're in this world making it a better place.
Oh, I feel the same about you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, reach out to Kathleen. You won't regret it. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Thank you.